I had this big kind of baker's boy cap on from Duffer and a pair of probably flared jeans. I probably looked really bad. And Gary Haseman come in there and he said, right, come on, we're going to Shoom. And I was going, what's that? And he's going, oh, I went there last week to a little club in a fitness centre in South London. I said, I'm not going to South London. No one goes to South London. We don't leave the West End, you know. No one goes to South. No, come on, you're coming. Who's there? And he goes, it's someone saying, and I goes, like all Millwall boys. I said, you know, I don't really want to go over there. Come on. So we drove over there, we walked downstairs, and it was just like, oh my God. All youth cultures that take off, you know, punk, skinheads, mod, you know, they all have separate parts that become to make one whole thing. And they had the drug, that would have been around for about at least 2 years, and people have been taking loads of it in London.
Right, so you're already aware of it then?
But not in a dance situation.
Right.
Right, you know, there was clubs like the Hug Club, Never in Spikes, which was a rare groove club. You would go to somewhere like Taboo, and everyone was on it in Taboo, and they were all laying on each other in the corner. No one danced on it, you know. In fact, they took it, and as soon as it came up, they all went home. And they went and laid on the couch together, telling how much each other they loved each other. You had a dance.
A bit like the H, isn't it, really? In a
well,
way.
You had a dance that, you know, Danny led the lead with, that had come from Ibiza. You had a whole soundtrack of music. It wasn't just one record. It was a whole soundtrack. That was Alfredo's, right? And Paul and Danny and Trevor and Johnny and all these people had, you know, copied his soundtrack and just brought this record box back and gone, boom, listen to this. And while you listen to this, you dance like this, and you wear these clothes, and we're going to have these lights doing this, and we're going to have this smog coming through, and we're all going to do it together. There's not going to be one person in here who's not going to do it. Right? So there's no dissenting voice. You know, there's no one saying, it's a bit shit, innit? We're dancing to you too. Everyone would just go, amazing. Living without you, you too. City Lights. There's no Mandy Smith. There's no dissenting voice.
Yeah.
And it's just a wave of...
But then it got more clever, didn't it?
Well, it's a wave of enthusiasm that just goes boom.
Yeah.
And you've lit that touch paper and it just goes.
Yeah.
Without everything, without all them little parts, house, I think, would have just gone the same way as go-go. You know, acid house is totally different from house music.
Yeah.
The culture. People tried to keep the lid on it completely. You know, Jenny, I remember I took my mate Paul down there the week after we had gone.
And Jenny Rampling.
Jenny Rampling was on the door, and she was giving out memberships. And the place probably only held 150. And the second week we went down, there was 100 people outside not getting in. And she went, right, okay, I'll give you guys a membership, but look, don't bring anyone else. Beyond shallow, you know, beyond shallow. People who I'd gone clubbing with for since I was 16, and you know, this was like 15 years, were saying to me, take me to Shoom, and I was going, no, I can't get you in. You know, and it was like you had new friends. You had a new circle of friends.
Snowball,
and you couldn't tell anyone about it, but you couldn't stop telling people. So what you did, you told the world and said, don't tell anyone, no. And they all told people. And other people told people not to speak about it.
Yeah.
And then Paul Oakenfold did Spectrum, and the first week of Spectrum, you know, the venue I was 3,000 people, 2,500 people. There was 100 people in there. They give an E to everyone who walked through the door. And I was playing in the VIP with the fella from the All, Alex Patterson, and you'd look because you could look down onto the dance floor from the VIP, and you'd look down and there'd be like 20 people on the floor for about a month, and they were losing a fortune. Just one week I just turned up, and there was a queue that went, you know, several hundred round the block, and you just thought.
But that had just become the whole thing where
you know? The
connection had like a tree of like all those things that were going on. All of a sudden, like the dots joined up, and it was like 5, 6, 7 places that was what he's just said weren't really happening.
It was, you know, that.